I want to go through using spinners and a scroll bar, but first I want to show you something that's a little different in Excel 2010, and that's where to get the ability to use forms and modify forms. So we want to go up and we want to click on File, and down below we have Options. Okay, options, we have customize ribbon. So we're going to click on customize ribbon, and you can see in here there's a box here called developer, and the default on that is unchecked. I want you to go and click it and check it, and then you'll go down, hit OK, and it'll give you, if you'll see up the top here now, we have a developer toolbar, which is going to allow us to do a few more advanced type of items, recording macros, that kind of stuff, and also do forms. So that is what we're going to use. That's how you get set up to be able to get access to this in the Excel 2010. Okay, so what we have here is just a basic spreadsheet, and if you're in my accounting information systems class, this is from page 404 and 405 of that book. But basically what we have here is a beginning, it's a cash flow budget, and I've got 12 months going across. We have a beginning cash balance, which I've input here is 350,000, and I'm going to increase that. We'll start this. We'll go sales of 5 million, cash collections. What our formula for cash collections is going to be is we're collecting 40% of each month's sales for cash, 30% collected the following month, 20% collected 2 months later, 8% collected 3 months later, and then 2% never collected at all. So basically what we're going to do, since we're starting here, based on our cash collections, for our cash collections line, we're going to say we collected 40% of our sales, which are on line D5. In February, we collect 40% of the current months plus 30% of the prior month. So that's where we're getting the 40% of point four of the E5 February sales plus 30% of January sales. In March, we're collecting 40% of the March sales, 30% of February sales, and 2% of January sales. And then we're just in April, then we add the 8% collected 3 months later. So we'll do, again, 40% of the current month sales, which is April, 30% of March, 20% of February, and 8% of January. And then we drag that formula across going forward. So that'll go all the way across to December. Our ending cash balance then obviously is easy beginning balance plus our cash collections gives us our ending cash balance. So that's the first basic part of this exercise. Now we're going to go to installing we're going to add, first of all, we're going to add a spinner that's going to allow us to change our monthly forecast growth rate. And we're going to make that range from 0.5% to 1.5%, and we're going to do that in increments of 1/10 of 1%. So I want to use, I'm going to have my separate index cell here of growth rate, and that's going to be, I'm putting this in cell C17. And since I'm going to do increments, I'm going to put that value as 10. Okay. Next, I'm going to do my formula. So my monthly growth rate here in cell C13 is going to equal C17 divided by 1,000. Okay, so that right here tells me we're going to have a 1% growth rate based on what we started with there. That's our index, and we're going from there. Okay, next, this is where we're going to go up, and I'm going to move the display here up a little bit, and we're going to do an insert from this developer tool bar. insert, and up here we have, this is a spinner and this is a scroll bar. So down there, but for this purpose we're going to use the spin button. So I'm going to click that button. You notice if I go down here, I turn into a little arrow thing here, and I'm going to draw my little bar, which is going to be my spinner control. Okay, from there I am going to right click and I'm going to go Format Control. Okay, Format Control brings me up a dialog box. Get that in the picture here, of which I'm going to fill in some data here. So my current value, I'm going to put 5. I'm going to go minimum value is 5, so that's going to be 0.5%. My maximum value is going to be 15, which is going to be 1.5% based on our formula. Incremental change is 1. I'm going to link it to that cell growth, so C17 is my link. Okay, and I just hit enter there, highlighted that and enter. The 3D shading box is there, and I'm going to hit OK. You notice how that changed to 0.5%. Okay, so now that I've made that change in there, I just want to go up and modify my formula here in E5 here. So I'm going to change my formula from what it is currently, and I'm going to change that to D5 is going to be equal to, and I'm going to put parentheses, 1 or 100% plus my C13, which is going to be that incremental rate. So I've highlighted 613, but I want that to be an absolute value, so I can hit F4. So if you click F4 there, it automatically changes it, or you can, physically put the dollar signs in and parentheses to close that formula. And there we go. So now we look at that. Now we're going to take and just drag that formula across, and it'll automatically update. So how does that work then? We'll go back and watch how we change. So I can just click here and see how my formulas change just by increasing by, I want it 1.1%. There we go. And that changes my sales formula to incrementally increase. Okay, next I'm going to make it so we can index our initial sales amount. So I'm going to use my index cell as C16, and I'm going to put a 400 in here, and you'll see what we're doing there. In cell C11 up here, my initial sales, I'm going to put in a formula. So I'm going to take that C16 times 10,000. Okay, so that's going to give me initial sales of 4 million. Next, I'm going to go back up like we did before, and we're going to insert, and this time we are going to insert a scroll bar. So if you highlight there, that's going to be this little guy there. I'm going to go down and I'm going to draw my scroll bar right here. Okay. Next, I'm going to adjust my display down here, and I'm going to right click and put Format Control, and in those values I'm going to start off with the current value of 400, and this is automatically going to change, but that's okay. Minimum value is 400, so we don't want to go below 4 million of our total sales, and we'll go 600 here. Incremental change is going to be 10. My page change is 10. My cell link is I'm going to link to C16, that initial sales index. So I hit enter, so that's going to be my indexing cell. And then I'm going to click OK. And that will change this value. So if I just click on the arrows here, see how my amounts change. Next, then, to make this so now I need to tie it to the formula. So I want to modify my formula, my initial sales formula here, up here, and I'm going to make that cell equal to my initial sales formula, C11. Boom. So right there, I've got it. So my set can be my range here can be starting with 4 million, and it'll go all the way up to 6 million in initial sales. Okay, and my rate of increase each year can be adjusted from 0.5 all the way up to 1.5% per month. And there we have it. And that's how we can use indexing and our spinner and our scroll bar controls in Excel 2010. One other thing we can do if we want to do some template or validation control, I'm going to go up here and say I want to do that cell here. Under data, I can do data validation. So if I want to protect this, so this would be an example, I can do this. And let's say right now it's allowing any value. I want to say I only want to have decimal, and it's going to be between 0 and let's say 100 million. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's my maximum amount. Okay, input message here, we'll call this cash or beginning cash balance, and input message is beginning cash balance. We can put that whatever you want it to be. If we have an error, we're going to say cash balance, and we can say incorrect amount, and I click OK. So now here I'm going to have beginning cash balance. I could have titled that a little different, but let's say I want to tie that to something. Okay, so there's there. So let's say I put in 150 million. See how it gave me a message here saying incorrect amount. Do I want to retry, cancel, or help? So I'm going to hit retry, and I'm going to put in my 350,000 starting, and there now I have a correct balance. So that's how we can put some, using that data and data validation, I can put all kinds of different controls in here to make sure that we don't have errors. And you can use that, obviously, this data valuation tool. You can do all kinds of settings on here. Any value whole numbers, you can restrict to that. You can restrict it to dates. You can make a list. You can customize it. You can have text things. So all kinds of input messages and error alerts. So it's a very useful tool if you want to restrict cells so that only certain values can be put in. So hopefully this was helpful.